3.
Howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome to my 8/16/2026 Sunday StreamYard. Hope everybody's had a great day. I've had a really good day. It's a tad bit on the warm side, I might add. But, you know, when you live in the desert, that's what you get. Hey, Guido, welcome. Let me check the temp. It's 106.6. And at 5, it'll start to cool down pretty good too. So, just saying. So almost 107 degrees. There we go. Get that saved and then it'll show. So that's up there. 106.6 degrees. Hey, gone fishing. Welcome. Like I say, I hope everybody had a good night last night. Hope you got lots of good sleep, lots of good rest, got lots of REM for, whatever that's worth. You don't get much REM. Even on good nights, you don't get much of any REM. Just the way it works. I guess you got to be in a really deep sleep to get that. I don't sleep really deep, so I don't get a lot of that. Anyway, I get what I need. If you get up the next day, you got it made. That would be what it's all about. Pretty damn hot in Texas too, but not quite that hot. Yeah, I had 110 yesterday, 109.9, and then it flipped up to 110 something. Not far over 110, but it was 110. I had the guy from a company that is replacing some cameras, outside cameras for me, and I'm switching companies, so I'm getting free cameras, and doesn't cost me a penny more to go with this other one than it does to go with the old burglar alarm. And you've got, you still got burglar alarms. You got still everything is just not vivid, I've been thinking, he was telling me, you need to get a new Alexa. I said, really? He said, yeah. He says, they got ones with screens now. And they're really easy to program. We had 102 today, but cooled all the way down to 100. Wow, you got a cold front coming in, gone fishing. Yep, got yourself a cold front. So has anybody got the new style Alexa? I've got the old style, the old can style. And he's telling me I need to get the new style, about the size of a toaster, and it's got a glass screen on the front, and you can do all kinds. You can download all kinds of stuff on that Alexa and all that good stuff. recipes, from recipes to, videos to whatever you want. And sit there and watch them on that uh, instead of tying up your laptop. God fishing, the wife has a new one. I still use my Dot. Yeah, I've got an Echo Dot in the bedroom, and then I've got the old can style uh, uh, in the living room. I don't. I guess you should be able to get them on Best Buy. Which, if you'd like to be ripped off, you could go to Best Buy. Um, I don't know if you can get them on Amazon or what the deal is. But he was telling me about it. I'll have to check into it, see what I could figure out, just for the fun of it. Um, so he had to go get. He had to get. This guy had to go get parts to replace the Vivint system. It's not going to cost me a penny more than I was paying Vivint. Um, I've got it. Actually, I've got mobile banking, and I auto pay that, so I got to go in to stop the auto payment. The display is too small for me, but to use it. Oh, okay. So did she get it through Amazon, or did she go to Best Buy and get ripped off, or you know, just wondering, just wondering. So I know where to check into them. Um, yeah, small displays aren't good for me either, because I'm farsighted. And if I get back far enough that it's clear, uh, can't read it. And I grew up nearsighted, so I mean my vision's just reversed. And when I was hit my 50s, I had perfect vision all the way through part of my 60s. And I can still, to this day, look outside with no glasses on, and I can count every leaf on a tree. It's stuff that's close up I can't see. Gone fishing, Amazon, I assume. I'll ask her. Good deal. Good deal. Good deal. Just curious. Um, but I know one lady that's got one, and she says about the size of a toaster, and it's got a glass screen on the front. You can do all kinds of things with it. So I'll have to figure that out. Oh Lord. I didn't get a nap today because the guy was here, and he let. Yeah, I mean, he was here, and then he left, and he went got parts, and he came back, and some of the parts he got uh, weren't comparable to what he wanted. Like I've got a Ring doorbell on the front. Uh, and he says that's not actually a true Ring doorbell you got there. I said, yeah, I figured that. Got it through. Got it through. I got that through Amazon. He asked me who installed it. I said I did. He says, but you got to wire that in. I said, I understand that. I installed it. Um, so we'll see what he comes back with. He said he'd be back Tuesday. And today is Sunday, so uh, he says he's going to be, he's plumb booked up tomorrow. He'll be back Tuesday. So we'll see what he comes back with Tuesday. Just for the fun of it. For the fear, for the pure pleasure of it. Hey, Mr. John Hansel, good evening. Hmm. Um, you sent me something, and I looked at it, and I know who it was on. If you think I can find it now, you're gonna have to email it to me. If you emailed that to me before, because it just popped up and I loaded it and watched it. If you've already emailed it to me, I can go into my email and find it. Yep. Um, yeah, Crude saying he was a cop. Yep. By God, I was a cop. No, the hell you weren't. You were a goddamn no good for nothing, worthless piece of trash security guard. Now, there are some security guards that do have powers of arrest if you're on federal property. You were in the street chasing a pizza delivery guy, and he had some moron, as far as I'm concerned, didn't give a name, didn't give a badge number, didn't give any information of who he worked for. Oh yeah, Rick, yeah, I know you were a cop. Yeah, I know you were a cop. Well, everybody on YouTube's telling me I'm not a cop. No, you weren't a cop. You were not a cop. Not in any state in the United States. And anybody that wants to know, all they have to do is do a FOIA to Houston PD, to the U.S. Marshals, to the Secret Service. Because that's what he claims. He protected the president. Who protects the president? Secret Service. Yeah. Oh, there you go. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. Ah, thank you, sir. So I'll play that tonight. I'll play it right now. So everybody can see it.
They're trying to say I wasn't a cop. No, you were. I know I was. That's it. In Texas. They're trying to say I wasn't a cop. No, you were. I know I was. They're trying to say I wasn't a cop. No, you were. I know I was. That's it. In Texas, a commissioned security officer is law enforcement. No. They have full arrest powers
full, fully armed. They're trained to take the same kind of training that a police officer does. It's just they are a private entity instead of a public entity, like an actual, like a city police department.
The thing about it's funny, that reminds me. I made a fucking Australian cut his fucking face. He started bleeding. He thought I fucking kept my face. No, dude, I was dipping it in ketchup and then fucking acting like I kept my face. I think that's who the motherfucker is. And then he claims he was in McDonald's. I was like, look, you're Australian, bitch. We can hear those fucking Australian kids in the background. He's probably in England or fucking wherever the fuck they get the right. I think they get to go to England because they're part of the crown. Oh, they said I was a security guard. I just let them think that, dude.
In Texas, if you're commissioned, even as a security guard, you were a commissioned law enforcement officer.
I know
There was
that.
no distinction. You were just private. You were just part of a private police force instead of a public police.
That's true. That's true. But they forget. I work for the hospital district, which hospital district is.
It's right across from Rice University.
Yeah, it's Rice. Yeah, Rice. No, but the hospital district is a whole goddamn, fucking goddamn.
Portion of the city.
It's part of the city.
They don't understand that there's no zoning here. So Houston is actually a bunch of little cities fucking combined into one giant city.
But they think that I was a security guard. I keep telling them I work for the fucking hospital district. And hospital district has their own. They have their own fucking police department. But
so when I was at Rice, we had to coordinate with Metro Police, and then
Metro Police is another police department.
Metro Police and the Med Center Police. Because Rice University is right there. There's the Metro line that runs through, so they have jurisdiction over that. Other side is the hospital district. On the anyways, we had to fucking coordinate with them with fucking anything.
I keep telling them that. I said, look, I worked on the security team whenever the president or the dignitaries came in, which I did. I have my goddamn certificates, weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah, I had to take that shit at Rice because it's like I said, they have to coordinate with all the agencies in the immediate area, especially when they go to speak at Rice and stuff like that.
I told them that shit. No, you're just a security guard. You didn't do this shit. You didn't do. I told them I had to take the fucking weapons of mass destruction, bomb detection, the whole goddamn yard, in case the president came in. All right, we were ahead of. We weren't part of Secret Service, but we worked under them when they came into town. Not only that. I had to work the security detail. Shut up, cat. For King of Raleigh when he came, fucking Archbishop of Canterbury. That one was scary because you remember I told you fucking goddamn IRA just put a hit on him. So I had to work the King of Raleigh. I had to work Archbishop of Canterbury. I had to work. The king of fucking I forgot what goddamn Tonga. All these dignitaries. So they can sit there and say whatever the fuck they want.
They're trying to say that
They're trying to say I wasn't a cop.
no, you were.
I know I was.
That's it. in Texas, a commissioned security officer is law enforcement.
Yeah.
They have full arrest powers, full, fully armed. They have training, they take the same kind of training that a police officer does. It's just they are a private entity instead of a public entity, like an actual, like a city police department.
The thing about that is they can legally go to work in New Orleans. New Orleans will hire them off the bat as cops. But this crazy old lady thinks she knows law enforcement. She knows all about the law. All right, we're out of here, guys. Have a good one. We got work to do.
Yeah, there you go. There you got the whole scoop. Supposed to be a state trooper, brother. Yeah, bullshit. Bullshit. So I had to shut off the audio from YouTube. That's why you got the that's why you got the yeah, it's still ain't shut off. There it's muted. Now it's off. It is off now. Yeah. But if you are a security guard and you work for a federal site and you take the training, you do have power of arrest, but you're still not a sworn up police officer. Where's his creds? Let's see your creds there, Ricky. Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't doubt it's his caregiver. I wouldn't doubt it. Who knows? But if his insurance, if he has Medicare, I've said this before, I'll say it again. If he has Medicare Part A and Part B, security guards do not do the same training as police officers. That's bullcrap. That's a lie. If he has Medicare Part A and Part B, and if the doctor has filled out the paperwork properly, if Medicare will approve the charge, his private insurance should pay for the wheelchair. And if he has all of his ducks in a row and he can get an electric wheelchair, then he should have an electric wheelchair. And mine is a $6,000 standard chair. That's all he's going to get. He's not going to get anything with floor lights. Give me a break. I have in my garage what he's talking about. It's not an electric wheelchair. It runs on gel cell batteries. Has headlight, has turn signals, has brake lights. Their gel cells are rechargeable. Um, let him put the info out there. That's not electric wheelchair. And my insurance company did wind up paying 60,000 on this Jazzy. And 3 years ago, they were dropped. They're no longer made. So I have a completely different new style, even chair coming. Just saying. Um, I did mine for free. I didn't do it for pay. I already had a 50-hour-a-week job. The company that I work for, um, it sold out to Kennametal, and then they sold out to Barbara Coleman. And then I worked for Barbara Coleman for a while. Yeah, you'll need a custom seat, one for the 10-gallon bucket. Yeah, I know. Not 5-gallon, 10-gallon. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but Ricky's is gonna need a revised custom seat, absolutely, with a hole for that 10-gallon bucket he's so fond of. But then he claims he's been bedridden and hasn't been able to get out of bed since September. First he said he had one stroke, then he said he had two, and now he's back to one. He's got an arm that it is totally useless. Uh yeah. So I don't know. He claims I've called code enforcement on him. I've never called code enforcement on him. Um, I did make a call when he claims he was starving, and this was not over the send me $1, send little Ricky $1 for Burger King. I'm hungry. I have nothing to eat. When he had showed the day before of 2 freezers full of food in that filthy refrigerator. Gross. Yeah, then why does he need a wheelchair? Yeah, he doesn't need a wheelchair. If he's bedridden, a wheelchair is not going to do him any good. He's not going to be able to get up out of bed and get into a wheelchair and use it. Exactly. Claims his arm is paralyzed. And then he said, well, not all totally paralyzed. It's coming out of it. And what about his arthritic hands? He can't make a fist with his hands. How's he going to drive an electric wheelchair? It works on a joystick. So I just think he tells one lie after another lie after another lie after another. He worked for U.S. Marshals. He was Houston PD officer. Um, and it goes on and on and on and on and on and on. Well, do FOIAs, people. Do FOIAs. He protected the president. He worked for Homeland Security. Bull crap. Bull crap. I don't know what else to tell him. But I have one of those things that, with gel cells that has headlight turn signals. You can flip on from dim to, dim headlight to bright headlight. It's got brake lights. It doesn't light up the floor though, I'll tell you that. It does not light up the floor. Mine just needs new gel cells, and I can't get the seat off to get to the gel cells. And Mark Brown, who is Tucson PD sucks, he was supposed to come over and help me do that. He never bothered showing up. So, it's got a basket in the front. I'm trying to think. And I've shown it. I can open my garage door and I can show it. I can show it to you again. If Ricky gets a new wheelchair, he'll scrap it for copper. Probably. He claims his I don't know what the hell you'd call that piece of shit thing he was riding around, and it's got the backup beeper on it. I couldn't handle that. I'm just saying I couldn't handle that backup beeper. I know my husband worked in Chicago. He had to have the amber light up on the top of his van. And he had to install the backup beeper on the truck so that when he backed up, it's regulations for Chicago at the time. But it wasn't a pickup truck. It wasn't a car. It was a work van. So, and I know when he wanted to test the batteries in that thing, and he says it won't work anymore. Well, what's getting you around then, Rick? What's getting you around? If that don't work anymore, completely shot, don't work anymore, what's getting you around, Rick? With the backup beeper. I mean, to me, it's obvious, to me. When the batteries started going in that, he could figure out how to test the voltage, and he got a volt ohm meter, and everybody's trying to tell him how to use the volt ohm meter, including myself. And I said, it's really simple. A 5-year-old child could use that. You just turn the dial to whatever you want. You put one lead in one side, one lead in the other side. You're supposed to put the red one on one side, the black one on the other side, but it doesn't matter because if you plug them in backwards, all you do is reverse the probes when you take the reading. Yeah, you turn the dial for 12 volt, and then you turn the other dial for how many volts you want it to test for full scale. I don't know what to tell him. I don't know what to tell him. I even did a video on it. I got a volt ohm meter and showed him how to do it. And I tested a 9-volt battery with it to show him how to do it. Yeah, it's standard DC, direct current. You got direct current, which is battery powered, and you've got AC, which is household power. Alternating current, AC, alternating current. And if you look at that on a oscilloscope, alternating current, it'll go up so high and it'll come back down to the line and it'll go cross the line and it'll go down the same height in the bottom as it did in the top and turn around, come back, and then it'll go back up. I mean, I've built dual trace oscilloscopes. I've built all kinds of stuff. Alternating current is household current. It's what you plug a lamp into. I've replaced those. I never turn the current off. Never turn the current off with alternating current. I wouldn't suggest you do that because you don't know if you don't know what the hell you're doing. But if you'd like to get bit, give it a shot. But I tried to educate him. I tried to tell him how to put in a new plug-in for the stove that he got. You have to have a junction box. You got to have specific size Romex. You got to have so many feet of that. You have a junction box. You have to nail the junction box into an upright. Then you drill a hole through each upright so that the Romex goes all the way over to where you want your plug-in, your regular electric plug-in for your stove. Told him how to do it step by step by step by step. And what did he do? Blew up the light. So I don't know if he blew out the circuitry in the stove, and it was a brand new stove somebody got him and shipped to him. And it's a gas stove, not electric. All the electric for that stove was going to do was going to power the convectional oven and on the bottom, and the light for the top of the stove. That's all. And he blew it up because he didn't do it right. You got a black, a white, and a green wire. The green wire is common, or not common, ground. The green wire is ground. You got the white wire and the black wire. Think of it as water. You have a faucet. So, you got a faucet. That would be the switch. That would be your electric source. You have hot side and cold side. Hot side represents one of the wires, the black or the white wire, whichever way. And if you can wire them backwards, you can wire one of these plug-ins backwards, and then you get a drain on your electricity. The same as the switches you put in next to a water source. You have to wire those properly. Like in a bathroom. No fault, grounds. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and teach people an electricity course. Not going to do it. Built my mother on my brothers, two brothers, my husband, and myself. Built on a great big huge bedroom for my mother after my dad had passed. My husband plumbed in an upstairs bathroom because he was a master plumber, licensed in the state of Illinois. He put all that in there, and there was a lavatory. And lavatories go in a bathroom. They don't go in a kitchen. It's not your kitchen sink. had a lavatory, had a stool, and had a tub shower combo. Um, we built that on for her. I did the electric. Then I've got another brother that came in and installed low voltage lighting. That's a horse of a different color to help save on the electric bill. And he rewired the entire house with low voltage. So, but that's a horse of a different color. You cannot use standard um, lamps and stuff like that at that time. I don't know now because I don't do it anymore. Yeah, we use AC today because AC was used in the first electric wheelchair execution to scare people that AC was dangerous. Instead, it impressed people. Absolutely. I think they had to bring the electric chair back. That's what I think they ought to do. It's like Joe Arpaio out here in Arizona. He was the sheriff out here. And he had what they called Tent City. And the recidivism rate was so low that, nobody wanted to go back to Tent City. And that's what they called it, was Tent City. And that's what he had, was tents in the desert. He provided fans. He did not provide air conditioning. He didn't have like modern jails today have in their pods where they have everything's air conditioned. No, it wasn't that way back then. The electric chair is back in use in Tennessee. Just saying, Preston. Yeah, there you go. There you go. But we built that on for her. I mean, completely built that on. It was an upstairs bathroom. There was a downstairs bathroom, which was a 3/4 bath, which is a lavatory, stool, and shower. That's a 3/4 bath. A full bath is a lavatory, stool, tub. That's a full bath. And wanted to make it easier on my mom. Instead of having to go up and down basement stairs, I mean, a whole bunch of, I can't even remember how many steps there were, but a long damn pile of steps. She had to go up and down, up and down. Every time she wanted to go to the bathroom, up and down, up and down, up and down. She had an old Roper Ringer agitator machine. Bought her a brand spanking new one for upstairs, plumbed it in. So she had a automatic washer and dryer upstairs. She no longer had to go downstairs to use the bathroom or to take a shower. So she had a 1 3/4 bath. Yep. And when you look at houses that are listed, it'll tell you I've got full bath, a bath and a half, bath and 3/4. It's not hard to figure out what that consists of. I would love to see the electric chair come back. I really frickin' would. If you've ever watched a movie called The Green Mile, watch it. Watch it. It's an excellent movie, and it's on the electric chair. It really is. And there's a great big huge, and of course they accentuate the guy's size, man of color that's in that movie, that could actually suck the death out of you if it was immediately, would suck the death out of a mouse. He did it with a mouse in the movie. But they used the electric chair in that movie. And I'd love to see it come back. But Joe Arpaio, who's a sheriff out here, said that with Tent City, that was cruel and unusual punishment. Yeah, everybody wants them to sit in an air-conditioned pod. Yeah, where the recidivism rate is astronomical, so that we, the people, can pay our tax dollars to take care of these thieves and murderers and rapists and burglars, And I thought Joe Arpaio had the absolute right idea. He dressed all the males and the females were in separate tent cities. And all the males had to wear pink underwear and pink socks and pink t-shirts, pink shorts. Everything was pink. They got decent food, balanced diet, but they got to live in a tent and each tent had a great big huge electric fan. He didn't give them air conditioning. And the idiots here in Arizona decided, well, that's cruel and unusual punishment. Oh, hell no, it wasn't. Because the recidivism rate of people going back to Tent City and being arrested for the same crimes or other crimes that they were committing was so low, they didn't want to spend any time sitting out in the desert. Let me tell you that. Or Arpaio would move to Tent City on occasion, and he would use camels, and he'd use jackasses, and he had the guards on horses. And they were armed. And there were no escapes. Try and escape, you get shot. That's plain, that simple. Had chain gangs, which was, they'd chain these people up and make them walk along the road and pick up trash and bag it in garbage bags. That's cruel and unusual punishment. Really, you'd rather have to pay a crew to do it than use prisoners to do it? Really? Really? Oh. John Ansel says we use AC because transportation is much more efficient. Absolutely. And here's a question for you. Will you ever buy an electric car? Will you? Will you ever invest the money into an electric vehicle? I will not. I will not ever. And to each his own. So, yep, gone fishing. Not as long as I could afford gasoline. You got that right. You consolidate your trips. If you got to go out to go to a doctor, and the day you go out and you go grocery shopping, Instead of being able to go on a Wednesday when the sales come out, go on a Monday if that's where you got to go out. What happened to $2 and something gasoline Trump was going to bring back? Yeah. Uh-huh. That didn't happen, did it? What happened to Mexico was going to pay for the wall. Uh-huh. That didn't happen. The latest from Fat Rose is I'm American. Really? That's what John Hensel says. The latest from Fat Rose is I'm American. Yeah. Well, that goes to show you what the hell she knows. But I got to give kudos to Black Rose because she knows what 3 from 6 is. And I'll bet she doesn't have to take her shoes off to do it. As I laughed, God Almighty, I laughed, and I laughed when Rick Crude got on there. And here's Preston's investigative journalist skills. I was arrested in 2023. And Rick Crude said, I saw the name. And it was my name. But I'm not the only one in the United States there, Ricky. And Rick Crude says, well, it's the right time frame. She got arrested in 2023, and she was 50 years old. Really? Yeah. That's the investigative journalist work for you. I don't watch her. I don't watch Rick. I'm not sub to them. They can say whatever they want to say. I really don't give a damn. And like I've said, I don't give a tinker's damn. And there is such a thing in plumbing as a tinker's damn. Yep. And that's back when you had lead joints. Yep. I don't know. They can say what the hell ever they want to say. I just think it's funny. I just sit back and wait for it all to come out. Same as Lisa B. I just sit back and laugh and wait for it to come out. I don't go to their channels. I don't watch their crap. It's all psychobabble bullshit to me. I don't know what to tell them. Can you pull that out, my sweet? Yeah. Stick in a new bag. Yeah. Dumbass says, Scott and I have sex every night. How do you know? You've been peeping through my windows there. You've been licking the windows there. Peston. Yeah. I think it's funny. It's hilarious. It's absolutely flipping hilarious. Thanks, Scott. So, anyhow, those are smaller. I don't think those are going to work. I think we got to pitch those and open the other new box. I have a waste basket that's has a motion detector on it. You lost one of the feet, my dear. Yeah, tip that puppy sideways, put that rubber foot back on there. It's motion detector, and when you go up next to it, um, you can take all the trash that you're going to put in there in one hand, and you just go up next to it, and the lid pops open, and you drop it in there, and the lid in 5 seconds shuts. Yeah, I know, John. He's about that smart. I don't know. Says I can't move, but I'm very active in the evening with Scott. Yeah, every night. Yeah, every night. He must be jealous. That's all I can say. He's just a narcissist. That's all. Just a narcissist. Snowball wants another chicken strip. I buy her chicken strips, frozen. Hey, Mr. PD, there's the man that makes my glasses fog. What's up? Ah, there we go. 60 some dollars for a bag of this stuff. They're freeze dried. They are weird looking. They look like this. The smaller pieces look like this. And they don't bend. Well, they'll break, but they won't bend. And I give them to her twice a day. Working on a new video. Oh my God, I need new glasses, LOL. Really? Oh Lord. Oh Lord. God, I wished I could play that damn video. You'd have every female out here would not, if they were married to you, they wouldn't let your ass outside in the sunlight. I'm just saying. Working on a new video. You gonna be dressed in that black cowboy hat with them black boots and them black pants? You gonna have that in that new one? You burn easy. Oh, gosh almighty. Yep. Mm, my goodness, man. Yeah. And then he runs his mouth about Shell. Peston, good old Peston runs his mouth about Shell. Shell's not even on the internet anymore. But did you see Patriot? Did you see that video I just put up and played? Where Rick Crude says everybody's a liar. He was PD. He was a police officer, and it's supposed that state trooper brother was in there agreeing with him when it was probably just you know another one of those people that come and cook for him. This one likely won't be finished for a while. I have shoulder replacement coming up on 9/1. Yeah, yeah, shoulder replacement surgery. Oh, and then Patriot says horseshit. He was never law enforcement. Absolutely. I've said it. I don't know. You people believe whatever you want to believe. Yep. But I played that video. He's got a new video up that John Hansel grabbed and stuck up. Golly, golly gee, golly gee, golly gee. John is funny. He is. John Hansel's funny. I mean, he can catch some good stuff you know from Boyd. Yeah. Of course, the video that Rick put up didn't show the guy in uniform. Didn't show the guy. So it's just, as far as I'm concerned, it's just another lie. I don't care. He can lie with whatever he wants to lie with. Yeah, that's for dadgum sure. For dadgum sure. I got to go over on your page and try a download of that last one you made, because I can't seem to be able to share screen on it and play it. It won't play. I got to do that. Yeah, I got to set up some more streams tonight too. Patriot says, I mean, whatever. If he was or was not, I don't give a shot. Nope, I don't give a shot either. Patriot Defense, what's it called? It's the one where you were in the oh my God, with the black cowboy hat and the black long sleeve shirt and then boots. Oh my God. Oh, it's the sexy one, my sweet. It is already dropped down to it's that last one you did. 105.6. So it's dropped down 1 full degree. Yeah, that was YouTube is a war zone. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I'm telling you, if I was married to you, I wouldn't let you see daylight. You wouldn't have to worry about ever getting sunburned again. I might be 77, but sweetheart, I'm not dead yet. The girls in that are real girls, a friend of my daughter's. Wow. Yeah. I mean, I sit here and I watch that thing all day. I think, why the hell can't I play this on my stream? And then you told me to go over to your channel and just straight download it, see if that'll work. Yeah, the girls in that are real girls. A friend of mine and my daughters. Yep. Wow. Yeah. So I've been on for an hour and 6 minutes already. Really? My goodness, time flies when you're having mental thoughts and fun. Yep. Goodness, goodness, goodness. John Ansel says, the sad part was in another video yesterday, you hear Rick say the cat has kittens. Then, yeah, he claimed the cat had kittens. He won't have the thing fixed. I know here you can take it into the shelters, the dog pounds, uh, and they will. If you tell them you can't afford to get a cat or a dog either, spayed or neutered, they will do it for free. You don't have to take in your W-2s. You don't have to take in your last year's income tax return and all that bull crap either. You just tell them I can't afford to get it done, and they do it for free. But and he claims he won't feed her, and somebody said that they watched one of his videos where it showed the cat, and when it walks, the bones of the cat is so thin that it pushes the skin out, the you know, not the muscles of the cat, but the I mean, that's just terrible. That's terrible. If you're gonna have an animal, feed it. Hell, my dog eats better than I do. I spend more on her dog food than I spend on groceries for myself and Scott. Rick and the caregiver ate steak sandwiches in front of the mama cat, and when she meowed for the food, Rick screamed at it to shut up. Well, that figures. That figures. I have never screamed at Snowball. Yeah, I just don't watch his crap. He's too abusive to animals. He just is. He's abusive. Physically and mentally abusive, as far as I'm concerned. You know, he must have got the cat to eat the rats in his place. So he decides, I'm not going to feed it the hell with it. It can eat rats. Yeah, well, I thought you didn't have rats in your dump, Rick. Just a thought. Just a thought. Who knows? And I know damn good and well will never see a vet. That I'll guarantee you. That you can take to the bank. And if that mama cat doesn't get nourishment, it can't feed its babies, and then the babies are going to die. And they're going to starve to death because she can't make milk. And she's just going to keep getting bred over and over and over and over and over and have more and more and more litters, you know. And she'll wind up dying. All that mama cat wanted was some food so she could nurse her kittens. Yep. Yeah, it's a mammal. Cats are mammals. In order for a woman to make milk, she has to have over 2,000 calories a day. So, I don't know. I sure as hell wouldn't want to be a cat or a dog, and it was over there. Yuck. Yuckadoo. Yuck. I don't know what to say. Oh, what the hell? I have another piece of candy. Let's see. Do I want a chocolate Hershey bar or do I want a peanut butter cup? I think I'll have another peanut butter cup. These things are $6 and something a package. There's not that many in the package, let me tell you. But they're good. They have a tendency of leaving an aftertaste in your mouth, but that's because it uses alcohol sugar. These are no sugar at all. And it says 0 sugar right on it. Mm. John Ansel says some animal lovers are radical. I wouldn't be surprised if Rick starts sitting in the dark 24/7. Maybe. Gosh, these are good. I don't think they can be too good for you, though. But I'll tell you what, the peppermint patties were absolutely exquisite. I could get 8 or 9 in a package for $6 and something. Oh, he's got something going in the air fryer. Patriot Defense says he more than likely can't afford the power bills. Shit, I can barely afford 400 light bills. Yeah, well, that's what mine is. Mine are 433 was my last electric bill. And that's only turning the central air on long enough to cool it down in here and then shutting it off. Then, of course, leave it run all night at 81. So, my last was $433 for 30 days. Mine was 170. And most till they closed 3 Mile Island. Yeah, I know. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Gotta wash that sweet out of my mouth. Hmm. Yeah. I don't know why anyone would have a cat or a dog or a bird or a fish in a bowl if you can't afford the food to feed it or you're not willing to buy the food to feed it. I don't get it. I pay $200 a box for a 60-pound box of venison and bison. And then I mix 25-pound bag of salmon, all small kibble together. And that's what I feed my dog. Of course, it lasts me 6 months. And then I purchased a dog food container that is airtight so that it doesn't get stale. Mine was 170 at the most till they closed the 3 Mile Island. Yeah. Mine used to be, I can remember being a kid and my dad having an absolute conniption fit because the gas and electric bill came together and it was $25 a month. I think it was a month or 3 months. It could have been for 3 months. But then your wages were a whole lot different back then. My dad was working for a lot less money. Um, so I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. And I know Bob used to work at the Byron Power Plant. That's how he got radiation poisoning. Ate all the bone marrow out of his body. Ate his bones in two. All because he stepped in about a quarter of a cup of dirty water, what they call dirty water, radioactive water from the containment because he tried to straighten rods that were bent in the reactor. And all they give them back then was a dosimeter. Your dosimeter lasted 30 days. And when the reading got so high, you were not allowed in containment anymore near the reactor. And his was up one day and started a new month the next day. And he was all good to go in there. So he'd had too much radiation. That's what it amounted to. When he stepped in that radioactive water, about a quarter of a cup, the radiation went from the water into the sole of his work boot, up into the bones in his feet, up in his legs, and then went like wildfire through the rest of his body. And when they did a PET scan on him, he lit up like a Christmas tree. He had cancer covering every bone in his body. They gave him chemotherapy and one radiation treatment for pain control only. And we had to sign release forms for that, both of us. And they gave him the chemotherapy in the stomach. And they told him it was experimental only. We had to sign release forms for that. For pain only. And they only gave him one treatment. So. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry too. We were married for 35 years. We had a very happy marriage. We were soulmates. I could finish a sentence he was starting out with, and he could do the same thing with mine. We spent a lot of time together. My kids knew what I did as far as law enforcement went, so did my husband. John Hansel says, "Hey, Rick, I need to get high. I need a good shite. Can you help?" Lord. I need a newer mobility van is what I need. This thing is $1,000 me to death. I don't want a new one. I only want a newer one. And then I will donate this to whatever organization I can donate it to. It needs a sway bar in the left rear wheel. Monday, I take it in for that. Every time you hit a bump, I mean just a bump. Not talking about a pothole, I'm talking about a bump. They take and for all the road taxes we pay out here, this is absolutely ludicrous. You know, when the road cracks, they get a crack in it and they fill it, and then they put the hot tar on top of it. That's a bump. That's a bump. And every time you hit a bump, every freaking time you hit a bump, that rear wheel bottoms out. The sway bar is no good. So tomorrow morning, this is Sunday, right? Yep, it's Sunday all day. Tomorrow morning, Scott's got to drive it in, and I will not have that for 1 to 2 weeks because they have to match up to sway bar. What that's going to cost me, I have no idea. I know it's not going to be less than $1,000. I still can't find a replacement T-shirt neck ribbing for my USO shirt. All I can find is sweatshirt bottom ribbing. You know, the part that goes around your hips. And every time I order the T-shirt neck ribbing, they send me that bull crap. And it costs me more to take it back and ship it back than it does if I just throw it out and try again. And I'm done trying. So around 8 or 9 tomorrow, Scott will drive that in, and I asked him, I said, how the hell Scott can get back? Oh, we'll bring him back home. Okay. All right. Good deal. Can't ask for any more down. But they are the only ones that have ever worked on this van. I've got over 40 grand in this van just in repair costs. The thing didn't have a gasket on the oil pan. The motor mounts were broke. I had to have transmission work done on it after they looked at it and said the motor mounts are no good, they're broke. The only thing that's keeping the engine from spinning underneath the hood is it's hooked to the transmission. And now you've got repair work that's got to be done on the transmission. So I had to have that done. The emergency brakes weren't even hooked up. Had to have pay for that. It's baloney, you know. And the list goes on and on and on and on and on. And now the sway bar. And supposedly that's supposed to get it road ready. Oh, the alternator went to hell. Cost me 800 some bucks for a brand new alternator instead of being able to go get a rebuilt one. I am capable mechanically of doing all this work. I just don't have the tools and I can't stand up and walk. That's the part that sucks. My husband and I used to, for friends, overhaul their car engines. My father-in-law had a I think it was called an El Camino. Looked like a pickup truck in the back, and it was a car in the front. And we pulled the engine out of that, and that's when he ripped his pelvis loose from his spine because the thing started to fall. We had a hoist in the garage, in his garage, not my garage. He had a 4.5 car garage. I had a 2 car garage with two separate driveways separated. Um, we enjoyed our time together doing that work. But he had made a big table, a big heavy. I mean, you could pull a car up on it and it wouldn't move. You could pull up the front end of an automobile on that. And he picked it, we stripped the engine, put it on a hoist, hooked it to a hoist, pulled it up out of the car, and he set it down on that table. And when he went to loosen the hoist off, take the pressure off with the hoist, set it flat. It started to tip and fall, and he grabbed it and he picked it up. And when he did that, he ripped his pelvis away from his spine. And then when I told him, you need to go to the doctor. No, we're going to see how it is in the morning. I said, okay, I'm not going to argue with you. You're back. I got him in bed and I told him how to lay. And he says, you always think you know everything about a back injury, don't you? I said, well, I ought to. I freaking ought to. And I told him how to lay, separated his knees with pillows, had him in I think 4 pillows underneath his back and shoulders, and another couple of pillows under his head. His knees were up, so he was, if you can picture that. I put him on a heating pad next to the the mattress pad on the bed. Then I took a big towel and I wet it and I put it in a plastic bag. And then I had that up against his back. And the next day he felt pretty damn good. You always think you know everything when it comes to a back injury. I said, yep. I think I got a little bit experience on you with that. And he decided to get up, and I told him, that's not a good idea. I'm not talking about just get up for the restroom, not just get up for a shower. I'm talking about, I've laid here long enough. I'm done with this. I'm going to get up. And he sat up, swung his legs over. He was feeling pretty good. He stood up and he went to take a couple of steps and went down on his knees. He went, tried to tell you. Charlie says, hello, Lady Di. Hello, Charlie. Welcome to the stream. And I was always a tomboy. I was always climbing trees, telephone poles, and see if I could go all the way to the top and tap the top of the telephone pole and climb back down. And all you got to do is take a rope, tie it around one ankle, go around the telephone pole, make it long enough to go around the telephone pole. Oh, maybe not quite 3/4 of the way. Tie it to the other side of your other side, your other ankle, and use that rope to climb. I can remember one time, my sister and I, we were ticked off at my brother and this girlfriend he had. It wound up being my sister-in-law, but this is before it became my sister-in-law. My mom had aluminum clotheslines out back on a big T-pole at each end of the yard. And there were 5 lines across that. And that's what we would hang our clothes on. And every time you go to use those, of course, you'd have to clean them. You get a clean rag, wet it, and then you'd walk the clothesline length and clean the lines. And then when you hung the clothes out, they didn't get marked because the lines were clean. Gone fishing says, Diane, can I ask what VA benefits you are applying for? Survivor pension or DIC, or maybe both? Survivor. They're survivors. And it's through the it is through the Department of Foreign Wars. And their survivor benefits. Anyway, we were playing Cowboys and Indians, my sister and I, and we tied his girlfriend up to one of these T-poles, and she couldn't get loose. We did a good job. And then my sister says, I know, let's burn her at the stake. So we're running around picking up little twigs and stuff. And we put them down around her feet. And my sister says, you got a match? No. I says, are you out of your mind? We can't burn her at the stake. And that's about the time my brother came out and he had a fit because he thought we were going to burn her at the stake. My sister says, light it on fire. Get her good. Get her good. We didn't like her. We didn't like her to begin with. So, but I was a kid back then. And that brother was born in 1942. I was born in 1949. So he was a tad bit larger than I was. Yeah, the Department of Veterans Affairs. Yep. Rooster Cockburn says, when I was in 4th grade, I liked playing doctor with my teacher, Miss Hatcher. Yeah, we didn't do that crap. We just didn't. I mean, we just didn't. So, gee, you're a pretty new channel there, Rooster Cockburn. That's what I'm going to call you, is Cockburn. You joined August 7th, 2026. We didn't play doctor. Didn't do any of that kind of crap. Gone fishing, good lucky. Been doing some research for my wife friend, and I just cannot see any way she is eligible for either one. I've got all the paperwork made out. It was all ready to submit before. The guy made a mistake on the evaluation of my property in Illinois. And I don't want that to either raise or lower, because I have no idea how that's going to affect it. Patriot Defenses, remember this 18 and older channel. Yeah, I know. But I don't want to get into anything like that. I don't want to talk about anything like that. Playing doctor, Jesus, give me a break. So I see the guy that was here today for my cameras and outside cameras and inside camera. Left the front gate open. I'm going to have to go out and close that. Goofy guy. Nice enough guy. I'm not griping about the guy. And he's going to be back Tuesday. So smoke break, guys. The back wheels always go thunk thunk over that lift, coming down that lift. It's hour and 45 almost. So I got about 15 and a half minutes to go. It's hour 44, 30 and 32 seconds. So, and I am going to do my best to hit 2 hours tonight and then get the hay off. I had a brother that had his own excavating company. He is passed. My whole initial family is gone. I'm the last one, other than my kids and grandkids. and not all of those are living. Oh. But I've outlived them all. My original family is all gone. All my siblings. I had 2 sisters and 3 brothers. One of 6. And then I had a stepsister and a stepbrother because my mom had been married twice. So what do you people want to talk about tonight? You want to talk about more farming? I've done that. Talked about the old timey kick baler last night. I kind of miss old Swammy. Everybody picked on him because he wouldn't tell his real name and he wouldn't tell where he lived at. Well, you're not supposed to. Remember? I still got broke into one carton of cigarettes. Used 1 carton up. I still got 6 cartons left. From my last trip. But for that slide, and I've shown you people that slide. I've shown you how that works. I've shown you what it looks like, what you have to do to get up into that mobility van. And to get that slide, just the slide worked on is $280 an hour. And I've had to pay that too. It's chain driven. Trying to send the video now. How can you afford to use us pest on when you can't afford to fill your gas tank? LOL, says John Hansel. So is that the new one or is that the YouTube lies? The last one with your sexy self in it with them new boots in the water and the black cowboy hat, the black shirt, the black pants. Where you absolutely wreck my lenses every time. I have to absolutely start from scratch and clean them suckers to get the steam off of them. Mr. Patriot Defense. Let me check. And then some that one dumbass that claimed that was that song I wrote. said that was a, you know, the YouTube Lies video about Rick Rude and Black Rose. He said that was professionally one. It was called Karma. I said, no, that's mine. I wrote that. And he turned me in for playing copyrighted music on my channel. The idiot. Of course, when they listened to it, um, they didn't find it, did they? They did not find it as a copyrighted music. So I got nothing out of it. Yeah, Patriot. They didn't do anything to me. Was not copyrighted music. And I'm not going to pay thousands of dollars to have that copyrighted. Patriot says they wouldn't. You own it. Yeah, that's true. I own it. I wrote it. It's even got Ricky in it. You know? That's the part that slays me. These people are stupid. They're flat frickin' stupid. So I don't know what to tell them, man. They're dumb. Tried to tell the guy, as you're out of your gourd, you know? You're crazy. Let me see. I mean, this is my song, mine. People are just stupid. So, see if I can get this to play.
Whispers in the hallway,
No, it doesn't have the music.
Ricky poisoning you too. Alyssa share her lies, and trying to cut you up. They laugh at your late nights, steal credit for your grind. Black Rose talks about value.
This is the one.
But
This
they're
is just
robbing
the
you
audio. It doesn't have the
blind.
music.
I see emails like landmines.
Hmm. John Hansel. 1 minute. Old die. Peston now defaming Scott. Really? Well, let's take a peek at that. Let's just take a peek at that.
On him, and he's got a third-degree felony. Don't worry, it will be posted up what the felony is, but it's
And I don't give a damn about his intro. That says mute the site. I don't want to mute the site. Nah, I ain't gonna play that. Not tonight. I can't get the audio up on it anyway. I have to play with it. I have to play with it, get the audio up on it. He better be careful running his mouth because, there's an attorney affiliated with that. And he just might wind up getting sued for slander. As well as he should. So we'll get the Patriot says, I'm hearing twice. Same investigative journalist who said I am a registered SO and am on probation for it. Yeah, I know. I know. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Investigative journalist, my left foot. All he is, First Amendment auditor. That's all he is. But I want to listen to that first. But everybody knows, by the way, everybody knows that Lisa B's husband is not dead. And he is a registered SO. He absolutely is. And everybody knows where she lives, the city and state, Mount Pleasant, Michigan. Everybody knows that. Yeah, him and his boyfriend, Jeremiah Raber. Yeah, no kidding. Him and his boyfriend, Jeremiah Raber. Yep, you got that right. I don't know that this damn computer just does not want to play that song. Patriot that I wrote. And let's take a look at Paston's arrest record. What the original charges were. And what he never denied that he did. Let's think about that. And he never denied doing the deed. He just denied that his nephew wasn't a minor. So everybody needs to remember that. Time to turn the lights on in here. And everybody knows what casino that she works in too. He also claimed my husband and I were never married. Of course, I've got a I have a certified copy of our marriage license. She works at the Soaring Eagle Casino, Chippewa tribe of Michigan. That's where Lisa B is. Everybody knows that, right? He needs to meet up with the bitch that my grandson met up with. That's what he needs to do. I don't know what to tell a sleaze bag piece of shit. Because that's what he is, a sleaze bag piece of shit. But then hey, Peston, I was arrested too, right? In 2023, right? Because that's what you told little Ricky, right? Right? Peston? Piece of trash. And he makes like the disease that little Ricky accused him of spreading, which came out of little Ricky's mouth, not mine. They absolutely do have a medication that will hide that and have had that for quite a while. Peston. John Hansel says, "Hey, Peston, why are all your videos filmed in public car parks? Your office? Question. Are you hooked? Question. Asking for a friend." Yeah, that's his best girlfriend is Jeremiah Raber. What can I say? Yep, and absolutely notice that these test results have no name on them. They could be anyone's. That's right. They could be absolutely anyone's test results. Abso-freaking-lutely. Good, he stuck the foot back on that. Good deal, good deal, good deal, good deal. 2 hours and 12 minutes. I am going to get out of here, guys. Diana, what drug masks that? HHS says it cannot be masked from current tests. I don't know what the name of it is. I have to Google it. Denise Lynn had an immune deficiency disorder. And it was not the 4-lettered word AIDS. But there is a drug that can mask that in test results. I have to Google it, figure it out. Gone Fishing said thanks. And that was Gone Fishing's question. What drugs mask that? And my grandson does not have that. So he's just trying to stir up shit, that's all. Oh. What's this, John? Here's what Rick says about Preston. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. This is what Rick says about Preston. Abso-freaking-lutely. Where'd it go? See if this is it. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's the one I want. That is the one I want. Come on. Pull up, damn it. It doesn't want to pull up now. That's not it. Right. Yeah. Damn it. No, we'll cancel that. Try it again. Come on. It's not going to let me do it tonight. I don't know what the hell's wrong with this computer. Yeah, I see no name on that. See no name whatsoever on that. Peston. It could be anybody's test results. Peston. There we go. I'll play this a couple times.
I also sent a copy of the results to Rick Crude. Also,
And oh, Preston, the lies you tell, you're another joke. I mean, why don't you admit you hate me that much, bitch? You're trying to make yourself look better, like you're important. First off, I don't fucking believe anything Preston says. Number one. Number two, nobody else does either.
I'm so dumb, I'm a retard. Cybernetic sweetheart. Cybernetic sweetheart. I'm so dumb, I'm a retard.
Let's hear that again.
look on my fucking community page and read my fucking test results if you know how to fucking read them, you fucking idiot. Because you don't understand. You want to believe you're fucking trolls and shit. because my test results are now online and live. I also sent a copy of the results to Rick Crude. Also,
And oh, Preston, the lies you tell, you're another joke. I mean, why don't you admit you hate me that much, bitch? You're trying to make yourself look better, like you're important. First off, I don't fucking believe anything Preston says. Number one. Number two, nobody else does either.
I'm so dumb, I'm a retard. Cybernetic sweetheart. Cybernetic sweetheart. I'm so dumb, I'm a retard.
There you go.
look on my fucking community page and read my fucking test results if you know how to fucking read them. You fucking idiot.
Yep. Yeah, everybody's an idiot but you, Preston. You couldn't get shit right if you had to. So with that, I'm going to get out of here, guys. 2 hours, 24 minutes. Oh, here he makes admissions. Really? Well, let's see what this one says. Yeah, come on. Where's the plus? Oh, Jesus. I've got to actually kill these to not play them. You know, to not allow the audio. I don't know. I'll have to work on it. We'll do it tomorrow night. Man, I'm really tired. I am really freaking tired. So I can share the screen, but they're all going to be playing at once. I got to kill every one of those in order to be able to not play them all at one time. So I ain't scared of Crude or those dickheads and fellas who support them. I ain't either. I'm not afraid to any of them. In Dallas. Yeah, in Dallas. Yeah, I get it. I get it. With that, I got to get out of here, guys. I am really freaking tired. I got to get my shower. It takes me about an hour. No one is afraid of Rick Crude. He's old, crippled, and had a stroke. Well, according to him, he only had one. Then he said he had two in September. So who would be afraid of that? Yeah, I know. And Preston's just a gay idiot. That's all. A loudmouth gay idiot. All he knows how to do is run his mouth. Stir crap up. So I'm going to get the heck out of here. 73, everybody. There we go. 73, everyone. We'll catch you tomorrow night, 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I've been on for 2.5 hours, so I got to get out of here. Everybody have a great night. Sleep well. We'll catch you tomorrow. With that, I am out of here.
Viewer discretion is advised.
They just think it's so funny. No!
Viewer discretion
We are
is
federales,
advised.
you know, the mountain police.
If you're the police, where are your badges?
Badges? We ain't got no badges. We don't need no badges. I don't have to show you any stinking badges.